Hi guys. Today we wanted to talk about the age gap as an important issue in our relationship or in any relationship. How does that affect our life? Does that affect our life? What are the positive or the negative aspects of it? Yeah. So it's important because people see that immediately, or it seems to us that that's one of the first questions that people asked when we announced our marriage plan. So, like, what are your experiences? What did you experience?
Well, for me, I think it was a very sensitive topic because it struck many chords in me of the battle that I've had with external validation, acceptance, and like any kind of internal shame that I had. But for me, as far as like our relationship, our age, the age gap does not change anything. You know, I see you as a human being, and that really is all that matters.
So would you say that the age gap matters to other people, not really to you or to us? Or what?
No, I don't think it doesn't matter to me at
Okay.
all. At all. But I think that there were moments as far as the representation, you know, of the photos of the marriage and around the announcement of the marriage, where I was personally triggered by what other people had to say. But it doesn't change the way that I feel about you or the way that I feel about our marriage or age couples or age gap couples in general.
But how did people react to the age gap?
Child, ooh.
Did they say, wow, 25 years older, great? Did they react this way?
No. I mean, if I'm being honest, and there's a quote that I wanted to, you know, honesty makes me feel. There's a book. It's called The Wit and Wisdom of Wisdom that I think everybody should check out. And there's a quote in there that really penetrated me, and it said, "Honesty makes me feel powerful in a complicated world." And I think, if I'm being really honest, a lot of people that were really close to me really said a lot of hurtful things that I internalized. You know, there were lots of questions like, how old is he? You know, like I kept receiving that, like, how old is he? How old is he? How old is he? How old is he? You know, and then there was this narrative of like, oh, DJ that got with a 50-year-old something, you know what I mean? And that really.
So was that hurtful?
It was hurtful to me because I felt like, yeah, I don't know. It's just, yeah.
And why do you think people had this reaction? Like, do you think that they had this negative reaction because they were worried about you, your happiness, or why? Why do you think they said that? Or because they had like a certain plan for their lives and that's why they reacted negatively, because it messed up with their plan. I'm guessing. I don't know.
It could have. It could have. I don't know. I mean, everybody else. I cannot. One thing I'm realizing, I cannot jump into everybody. I cannot jump into anybody else's body and assume what they feel about me or what their plans are. You know.
Well,
But I do think that there, you know, that it probably was a shock. You know.
okay. Well, the reason why I asked that is that because I can imagine that, you know, if I'm a father or a mother, and my child comes to me, that he or she is going to get married or want to get married, then I also think of my role in the future. Like, am I gonna be a grandmother, grandfather? Am I gonna? What kind of a relationship can I have with my son or daughter-in-law? And people normally have the expectation that their children would choose somebody at their age, and they plan a relationship with a son-in-law or a daughter-in-law who is like, I don't know, 20, 30 years younger than themselves. And of course it's a big surprise if they feel like, okay, my son-in-law is just as old as I am, so what does that do to our dynamic in our relationship? So I can totally understand that shock. Or in a gay couple, it's also about the kids. Like, are they gonna have kids? Like, am I, if you know, in the role of the parents, like, am I gonna be a grandmother or grandfather? Like, that sort of thing. So I can totally understand that it could have, like, yeah, it could destroy some expectations or plans or ideas about their future. And that could be painful, and maybe that's the reason why they react negatively.
Yeah.
I wanted to start with you because usually it is a problem if somebody is choosing an older person
Yeah.
to be his or her partner. The other way around is not as problematic. I feel that if
No.
usually, well, you could see that in a negative way as well. Like, people could say that, oh, what do you want with this young guy? He doesn't know anything about life. He doesn't have any life experiences. Do you want to raise a child? Like, there could be negative responses on that side as well. But I think I got lucky because nobody asked questions about your age. Nobody was interested in that. But of course, my parents are much older than yours. They are around 80. And so, yeah, they have probably different issues, and they already thought that they would never have grandchildren from me, at least on my side. My sister does have children. And yeah, so I got lucky with that. I didn't have negative comments from my parents. And how about just general from friends or colleagues at your work? Like, what are the reactions from your work colleagues or friends?
Well, okay, at that time, I was working as a teacher. I was working as a substitute teacher for Wake County.
Yeah.
And I remember there was a woman, I can't remember her name, but we were outside. It was recess, and she's black. She has a son. She's, you know, and I just remember like I was outside with the kids. We were running around, and she just opened herself up to me in a way that was so nurturing at that time. And she, she was another teacher of the first grade or third grade, and she was just like, "You grown," and that right there liberated me in a sense of like, "You grown," because I think I had a lot of questions, and I, at that time, before we got married, there was a lot of questions that I had internally. There was a lot of fear. This was before you even came to North Carolina.
Mm.
And I had a lot of fear regarding, what what it would be, and she just told me plainly, like, "You're a grown man. You're grown."
Mm.
So it don't matter what
So
they got to
you're
say.
ready to make decisions
Yeah.
and take responsibilities for your decisions.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I think that was something that I needed to hear, because I think I am such a family man. Like, I have been playing that role of, I did spend a lot of time with my grandparents. I did spend a lot of time, but it was something that I needed to hear. But yeah, I think that was the foremost reaction from coworkers at the time.
Okay. And how about power imbalance? Did you ever feel that the age gap could cause some power imbalance in between us?
Well, I mean, to be honest, yeah, I did at times.
Okay.
I did. But you since changed my mind. I did at first. And that was, again, something that was internalized from other people who were like,
But do you remember what the specific situation was and what were your feelings at that time or thoughts at that time?
Well, I can't remember who I was talking to, but yeah, I think it was just a phone call or a conversation that I had with somebody, and they were like, there was an inclination that there can be a power difference. And then there were other talks that I had with people who were like, you don't want to be dependent on anybody. There was this fear
Okay.
of dependency.
Right.
That was that.
But
Word.
does this independency relate to the age gap or more to the situation that I've been living in Germany, I'm a citizen now, and you were an immigrant, so you couldn't have a job in the first few months. So was it more like a financial dependence, which actually doesn't have anything to do with the age gap? I could have the same age as you, and it would be still, this dependence financially.
Initially, yeah. Because I couldn't work when I first came to Germany. I could not work.
Yeah.
Legally, I
Yeah.
could not work because of
Well, we applied
I didn't have my citizenship.
Residency permit.
My residency permit.
Yeah.
So I could not work, and I think, regardless, like even if you were 30 and I was 30,
we would have had the same.
We would have had the
problem.
same situation.
Yeah. So it's not right. So it is an independence, but it's not necessarily about the age gap. It's more about the fact that Douglas is an immigrant in Germany, and we applied for residency permit, and until he got it or we got it, based on our marriage, he was not allowed to work, and he didn't. And then even after he got the permit, it took some time to actually find the job. So in those months, you were dependent on me financially. But maybe that's a topic for a different conversation, because it doesn't relate to the age gap.
I mean, it can in some ways, like I think that there was a fear of and an internalized shame of dependency on an older man, because some people
Okay.
might think like, oh, I just like you because I want a sugar daddy or
Ah,
something
okay,
like that.
okay.
There's that
Which is
narrative.
by the way, in gay relationships, like it's a cliche that there are the daddies and
Yeah,
and
yeah,
there are the young boys who are looking for a mentor or an elderly, person who can support them.
yeah.
So like, yeah, the in that regard, the age difference does have something to do with financial dependency as well.
Mhm,
At least in the yeah gay culture
mhm.
and this gay topography. Yeah. And so how like okay, maybe I'll tell a few things about my experiences with age differences.
Mhm.
My first long-term relationship, my first boyfriend, we were not married. It was not possible at that time in Hungary. But he was 9 years old. He is still 9 years older than me.
Mhm.
Um, and at that time, it was really helpful for me because I was a young actor. He was a director, and I obviously didn't choose him for career reasons, but I still profited from his experiences in that field.
Mhm.
And he could help me to sort things out. I was sometimes totally confused with different emotions and thoughts, and I couldn't really sort out those. And he helped me to, you know,
In the
through.
same way that I feel that you've done for me. But go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
No, yeah, through. I just wanted to add that through asking questions,
Mhm.
through sharing his experiences, and and these conversations helped me um, to reduce this confusion and put things in their place.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, I was saying that's not something that I was seeking out from you, but that is something that I did receive, and that is a benefit in our relationship, is that through your experience you have, like, I know we touched on this before, where I nobody else can liberate me. I am the
Yeah.
person who has to do that myself. But I
Right.
think through the questions, through what you said, you have, through the questions that you've asked, and through your feedback, you have been able to open me up in a sense to what's possible as far as cultivating my mind and my awareness of how to move throughout life. So I appreciate your feedback from that.
Thank you. But I suppose that can also take place in relationships where people have the same age
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Like I
yeah.
think I mean for me relationship um, is a wonderful opportunity to exchange thoughts
Yeah.
and to think together as we walk through life together and find answers, find solutions together,
Right.
even if at the end I have to find myself or liberate myself, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
But conversations with somebody could help me in that process,
Right, right.
actually, regardless of age.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in my second serious relationship, which was also 7 year long with an American guy, he was 3 years older So the age gap was like really, really, really small. It felt like we had the same age. But even in that relationship, there was a lot of conversation between us. There was a lot of sharing in between us, and it was a really nurturing relationship and helped me to grow. And he also supported me financially, because it was the other way around. I was an immigrant in the United States, and he was the citizen, and I'm really grateful for that. And in a way, I'm giving back that to another person, which doesn't really matter. But I'm you know, I received that gift from someone else, and I'm giving it back to someone else. So the
Which is all we can
balance
do.
is there.
Which is
Yeah.
all we can do.
Right.
That's all we can do. You know, I feel that.
Yeah. And then maybe there's one more question that could be interesting when it comes to age gap. Like, what are your thoughts about our future? Like, getting old together with age difference? Like, what are your feelings and thoughts about that?
It's a sensitive topic for me.
Okay. Do you want to talk about it, or?
I mean, we can. I mean, we're being
Okay.
authentic. You know,
Okay.
it is something that
Well, what do you have fears? Can you,
I
or
do.
like,
I do have fears. I I'm trying to stay present, you know, as much as possible. But I understand that is the reality of life. That life is always changing, and we're all nothing is the same, and impermanence is the ultimate reality. Um, and that is why I'm just trying to stay as present as possible within our relationship, because I do realize that, you know, anything could happen. And it's something that I need to be emotionally prepared for. You know, when I do get older, yeah, it's not an easy subject for me. It's really not. It's a bit hard. But I do ask, you know, and I do intend to spend as many years together as we can, you know.
um, I don't want to provoke you if it's a sensitive issue for you, but I also I just want to maybe name a few practical problems bluntly. Like, are you thinking that you might need to, like, support me, like nurse me, attend to me when I'm fragile and old, and is that what you're afraid of, that you would have to, like, you know what I mean, like support me in my bodily needs, or, you know,
No, I'm not
like
afraid of
that
that.
sort of.
I'm not afraid of that. I did that
Okay.
with, you know, I did that with my grandma. I'm not afraid of that. I've done that. You know, I'm not afraid of that.
Okay.
I'm not afraid of that.
Okay.
That's what we all, you know, we all gonna have to do. It's a cycle of life. You know, people took care of me when I was young, and we have to take care of others when we get, you know, when they get of that age. That's what we do
Okay.
for people who we care about.
Okay. And do you, I mean, I can imagine that there are people out there who are not comfortable with that. You don't have a problem with that, but there might be people who say no, I can't do that. But I think there are solutions even for those situations. I mean, if you don't want to take care of your partner, then you can hire somebody, or you can. There are other ways of doing that. There are also there's also help that doesn't even cost money. So
And I do want to clear that up because there could be some transparency there. I was not like a nurse for, you know, elders, but I have been present.
yeah,
You know,
okay.
present.
Well, thank you for that clarification.
Yeah.
But at an old age, literally nursing could be also a problem, or also an issue that needs to be addressed. And I'm just saying that there are solutions. Like, for example, my father told us when we were kids, and several times when we were older, that he doesn't want us to take care of him. So when he has the feeling that he cannot take care of himself, then he wants to move into a senior home. And he doesn't want us to nurse him, to take care of him, but he would rather use professional help for that. So he made that very clear. And I do not expect you to do that either.
Yeah.
So I do not expect you to do anything that you are not comfortable with. And I think, I mean, you have to tell me. You can tell me if I'm completely wrong. I feel like I'm still young in my spirit, in my body.
You are.
And usually people think that I'm 7-10 years younger than I am. It's always been like that. When I was 18, then they were thinking I was 14. When I was 30, they were thinking like I'm 21. When I was 40, they were thinking like 30 something. So I always looked younger, and I always felt younger than my age group. And yeah, so I think I do pay attention to my health, and I think there is a way that you can get old, that it's not all about illness and fragility.
Fragility. You had it right.
Thank you. But it can also be something else. Of course, we don't know what's gonna happen, but I feel like I do everything I can to.
He is very healthy, y'all, for real.
Yeah.
So, intermittent fasting, salads, you know, tea in the morning, coffee in the morning.
I'm not doing that because I want to keep young, but I do that because it feels good to me. It feels healthy to me, and that's what I want to do.
And that's rubbed off on me because y'all know me. I'm Italian. I will eat. I'm a pasta lover.
Okay.
But too much of anything is not good.
So too much of us is also not good. So I would say that we say goodbye now. Thank you guys for watching.
Yes.
You can comment us, you can subscribe, you can like us. If you found something interesting, you can say that in the comment section. If you had personal experiences with the age gap that you want to share, write it in the comment section. If you have other topics that you want us to talk about, write that in the comment section. Subscribe, like us, or hate us if you want. And see you next week.
Okay.
Bye.
Tschüss and bis später.